Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this incredible training on how to use live events to get corporate clients. I'm really excited about this training, so make sure that you attend until the end. If you're watching the replay, welcome to the replay. Just make sure you use the hashtag replay so that I can see that you're watching the replay and I can still answer all the questions that you have. In this incredible training, we are going to look at one specific strategies that I've used and also a lot of my clients used to get speaking engagements, and in particular to get corporate clients from live events. Because let's be honest, getting corporate clients is not easy. Is the holy grail, as for many people is considered the holy grail of this industry, but it's not easy. And the reason why it's not easy, it is because there are many decision makers. There are more people making a decision. Most of the time, is not an instant decision to hire you or not. And they will need way more information about you than maybe someone that just sees you talking from a seminar and hiring you personally. So that's why it's more difficult. However, only one client can be worth six, multiple five, six, or seven figures. We had one of our clients, which actually has been paying us almost six figures now since we started working with them. The reason why, it is because we have been doing a lot of work with them for an extended period of time, but it was only one client. And in this case is Ben, my business partner Ben, taking care of the side of the corporate business. So now that we are starting, before we start, what I want you to do is to comment below, if you're watching live right now, comment below what would you like to get out from this training. So what are the things that you would like to get out from this training? What questions do you have? What will make it a good time spent together? The training is going to be between 30 40 around 45 minutes. So 45 minutes, that's going to be the average length of the training. So make sure that you are focused here for the next 45 minutes with myself. The replay is going to be valid only for the next 24 hours, unless you are a member, which then is going to be put in our private members area in the online academy. And I will share also with you at the end how can you become part of our online academy as well for only $1. One small dollar. Whew, how amazing is that? Oh, amazing. I know. So let's get started. Let's get straight into it. Shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Shall we get straight into it? I hear you saying, yeah! And actually, if you want me to get straight into it, just give me a yeah in the comment. And I'm going to get you guys to comment quite a bit, because I know that the more engaged you are, the more you get out of this training. And also, I don't want just to talk by myself for the next 45 minutes. I'll get bored of my own voice. So thank you very much, Nadine, as well, for everyone else that joined here. Great to see you, Florin. This is something I love to do. I would love to get a clear strategy of landing my first corporate clients. You will have that. Hell yeah, Florin. Thank you very much, Caroline, as well, for joining. And Rosie, here you go. Now, there are a few things that we are going to look for. In particular, in this training, as I said, is one specific strategy that I've used. There are many strategies. This one is one that works like crazy. How do I know it? I've done it. A lot of other clients have done it. And it involves creating your own event. Now, for some people, immediately they're saying, well, I've never run an event before, or they're saying, oh, how much is it going to cost me? Good news is, you can guess, if you have never done an event before, you can get someone, wink wink, to help you with running your event. And if you say, well, how much is it going to cost me? That's not going to cost too much. Actually, with the sponsorship, which we are going to cover later on during the training, you can have the entire event sponsored. That's the beauty about working with corporates. There are more sponsorship available from bank, high street brands that want to go in front of these people for these corporate markets. So stay with me. Stay with me. Okay. The first thing to be aware of when you're running the event for corporate is the typology of event. What kind of event would you like to run? Because if you say, I'm running a free seminar, come and learn the 5 ways to build a successful business, or learn the 5 ways to increase your sales by 50%. They are not going to, if they don't know you, unless they know you and you are already an established brand, they will not care about you. And they will say, you know what? I don't give a damn about you. I'm not going to attend your event. And you will feel that you will contact thousands of people to get 2 or 3 people in the room. Not a good strategy. So now, if you think about the way they to get known, in particular not known, but if you want to get known, you want to create an experience for them, and they want to create an experience that they will love to attend. So I was delivering this session as a brainstorming session for WeWork to the members of the WeWork Club. And we were brainstorming different ways to attract corporate clients to come to a venue. Now, there are a few ways in which you can use it. We found out that you can create, for example, a cocktail party or a networking event. And by branding it as a networking industry-specific event, you will be able to attract the people that you want because they will want to network with each other. Now, it goes without saying that before even starting running an event, you need to be clear, absolutely clear, about what kind of audience you want to have there. If it's a corporate market, what kind of company, what department of a company you need to target, who is the decision maker. And these are things that you need to be clear up front before you even start. Because once you're clear about who is the perfect attendee, and the perfect attendee is actually the person who hires you and hires your service. So do your research within the companies. What are the roles? What are the names? Who are those people that will make this decision? Instead of saying, come, I want to work with you, hire me, you're going to send them a private invitation. And we're going to look at how to send those private invitations. And I've got something prepared for you in a moment. But you're going to say, we are creating this industry networking event. It's exclusive, limited to 20 people. Would you like to come? Can I count you in? Drinks are on us. Now, if people are... So I'm receiving this email in my inbox. It sounds something interesting to me. Someone is offering me drinks and is an industry networking event, very specific to the industry. I love it. Then at that point, we have something else. Because just creating a networking event or a drink party most of the time is not enough. But we want to ask ourselves, so what kind of people would my audience be interested into hearing from and listening from and learning from? What kind of brands? What kind of other bigger companies can I get involved to help me support my event and help my event be more attractive? So that's where you can create, and this is the key for this strategy, a panel model, where you are creating a panel of speakers. And most of the time, you can get them to come to you for free. If you have connections, awesome. If you have to get them to come in for free, then you can say that their company will be sponsor of the company. Instead of sponsoring money, they will be the sponsor of the event with their time by having one of the person of the company speaking. It can be one of the director or HR manager. But you want to see what kind of people from this bigger, larger company, these companies that you want to work with, they will be interested to learn from, to hear from. What would attract them? And you need 3 or 4 panelists to create an afternoon or a morning when you're running Q&A sessions and you're running a smaller workshop, all included in the event or the conference that you're doing. Now, of course, if you're planning to run this for a morning or for an evening or for an afternoon, you will need less content. But if you are planning to go for a longer period of time, like a day or 2 days, then you might need more panel sessions for it. So now you have different elements that are going on. We have the networking event element, which attracts, if it's industry specific, will attract the right people. You have the people that they want to see, the influencers that they want to see from major brands or companies, which will attract them. And also you have the elements of free food and drinks. Awesome! Now we're going to look at how can we make sure that you don't pay any of this in a moment. But before I move on, is the model clear? Oh, there is one more thing that you can do, actually. You can also hire, if you have more budget, a top keynote speaker. If you hire like a super famous keynote speaker, this company is 110, then you will attract even more people. However, it will cost you much more. So that's why by having the panel there, you will be able most of the time to get those influencers from companies absolutely for free. So that's the other thing you can do. But before I move on, is there anyone that have any question? Or if it's clear, just write whoop whoop here in the comment so then I can see this is absolutely clear for you. In the meanwhile, I'm going to also to read some messages. We have Caroline would like to get a glimpse of what could be possible. Absolutely. Ivy, thank you very much for joining as well. Hi Michelle, great to see you. Eve, great to see you as well. Thank you very much for joining. Whoop whoop, says Michelle, and I guess then we can move forward. We have a lot of whoop whoops here. So now we have an idea of the kind of events that we want to run. We have this idea. We need to find at this point the people, this panel that would attend the event, that will make this event for us. Because remember, those attendees, they're not coming for you. They are coming for them. You are facilitating the process. That's where you want to position yourself, as a facilitator of the entire process. So now we want to find those 3, 4, 5 panelists. So immediately knowing our target client, this is the point where we can ask them, hey, I'm planning to run this event, and this will be step 1 of marketing as well. By finding them out and by knowing who those people are, we can send them this message, say, hey, I'm planning to run this event. Or maybe there are people that you know that are following that role, and you can ask them, what companies would you like to see? What people do you follow that is worth getting them to an event that you know that you and other people in your industry will be interested in seeing? Ask them. Now, there will be a point if you know incredibly well your industry and maybe you were part of this industry before or you're still part of the industry that you serve, then you might know already and you don't need to do this market research because you're super cool, you know everything. That's awesome. But my recommendation is always to ask your audience, because this is a first form of engagement. This is already event marketing, but by having them contributing to the event without even knowing it, then they are creating the event that they want. So then when you're going to contact them in the future, and we're going to talk about how we are going to reach out to them later, but when you're contacting them in the future, they've already heard about this event that you're planning to run. They've already heard from you, and in particular, you can say, hey, I've created this event that you wanted exactly in the way you wanted. Wanna come? Guess what the answer is going to be? Unless something major is happening on that day where you plan the event, they will want to be in. They will want to be with you. They will want to be there, first of all, because you cared about them first. And secondly, because they care about that topic that you are presenting. So you see the dynamic here. So go reach out to them and then ask them, what kind of speakers would you like to see? And then build a roster of speakers. Always have, if you want to have 3 or 4 panelists, always have a list of about 10 to 15. Because then you're sure that over the list of 10 to 15, you can find 3 that will come for free. That's the bottom line. So how do we reach out to those people to ask them those questions? Well, we have a few ways. I'm destroying my phone here. Great to see you, Nadine. Thank you very much for joining. We have a few things that we can do to contact them. Now, the number one way, which is the one that if you just use this way, you will fill up the room. I promise you. And this is what Michelle, one of our clients, did when we helped her plan her event. And she was selling behavioral profiling for businesses and for teams, and their target clients are HR directors. So what we did, we used one simple tool that you will be able to see right now in a moment. And the simple tool that you are going to see is LinkedIn. Ha! LinkedIn. LinkedIn becomes, for this particular training, for this particular purpose, for this particular strategy, your very best friend. Just write it in the comments. LinkedIn is my best friend. I want you to write it. LinkedIn is my best friend. In particular for this specific training. Now, you need to have a great LinkedIn profile. If your LinkedIn profile sucks, there is not even your profile picture, what you do, then this strategy will not work because people will check out your LinkedIn profile. You don't need to have a lot of endorsement. You don't need to have a lot of recommendation. If you have them, better. But if you don't have a great LinkedIn profile, then join our membership, and I'm going to tell you later. And one of the training that we have in our membership is how to create a great LinkedIn profile, because it's crucial in this kind of industry. So once you have created your beautiful LinkedIn profile, then you can see here that you have your best friend, which become your search bar. And when you search for people here, it will give you different parameters of people that you can look for. You can be able to find people by location. Where are they? So let's say I want only to find people in London. I want people that are not only first connection, but second connection and third connection plus. So I want all to be able to connect with all people. Or maybe just people that are first and second connection, who knows? And then here when you click all filters, it will give you an idea of all the filters that you can use. You can find them from first name, from company, from last name, the school, the title that we have, the companies that they work for, the industry. So let's say that I want to run one of our businesses, a sales training for a recruitment agency. I want to run an event for staffing and recruiting. I will just click staffing and recruiting. And what kind of language I want, only speak in English. And I'm not really bothered about what company they're working for, in my case, but maybe you are. And I'm not bothered about which school they went on. And then I'm going to, pardon me, I put the wrong one. And then at this point, I'm going to apply. So then here is giving me 46,367 results of the kind of people that are perfect for me. Now, if I want to go even deeper, I can search in particular for the role of the company. So if I'm going back to all filter, I'm going to title, I want to talk about someone who is a manager. Let's see what kind of results are coming. Now, for managers, with all my connection, is giving me more than 5,697 results based in London. So you can see how many people now I can connect that are in the industry specific, that are in the role that I want. If I want, maybe someone is an HR director, I will look for HR directors. If it's someone who is a sales, sales director, I will look for sales director. So LinkedIn will give me the specificity of what kind of people I'm going to hire. Now, if you use something which you can see here, which is called Sales Navigator, which is the paid version of LinkedIn. And again, on our membership site, we have an entire session on how to use Sales Navigator and use automation to use LinkedIn. because there is a great software called Meet Leonard that I'm using. You might see it on my browser here. This is a great piece of software, which is called Meet Leonard, that plugs in into LinkedIn. We have all this training in the members area. We did that in the past for the group. Now it's locked away in the members area in a training called Social Media Mastery. You can find the training on Meet Leonard, an advanced training on how to use Sales Navigator. But at the moment, for this specific training, you can, even without paying any money, you can use this free search tool based on your LinkedIn profile. And then at this point, we are going to find this person. And we're going to connect with them, and we're going to send them a message. The first message is a message for engagement, where we're going to ask them, "Hi, Jade. Great to see you. I know you're working as a manager at Page Personnel. I'm running an event for recruitment industry, a networking event for recruitment industry, and we are building a panel of speakers. I'm curious, what people do you follow and what kind of speakers would make you come to a conference? Thank you very much. I wish you a fantastic day." So that's message number one, engagement. Then when we have finalized the venue, we have finalized the format of the event, we finalize the speakers that are going to be there, I'm going to go back to Jade and I'm saying, "Hey Jade, thank you very much for your recommendation. Guess what? We managed to get the speaker that you really wanted. His name is Johnny." Whatever. We are running this conference, this networking event, this private exclusive networking event on September the 19th. I would love to be you there. I would love to have you there. I just need your confirmation. As the event is free, we will cater for everything, but we will need your final confirmation because we have only room for 20 people. Can you come, or can some of your company come? So that's engagement number two. The response rate is going to be insanely high at this point because you're already connected with them. You didn't invite them straight. You didn't sell anything to them. You're just asking them, what would you like to see? And that's why the response rate at this point, because they already have a relationship with you, it will be incredibly high. It will be incredibly high. And by just doing this, you will be able to fill up your event. You will be able to fill up your event and to have the right people coming at your event. So now we've looked at how to fill the room using this specific strategy. Anyone has any question? If you have any question, let me know right now here in the comments. Or if you don't have any question, just give me a good whoop whoop here so then I can see that we are all set and we can move forward. I want everyone who's watching right now to comment. In the meanwhile, I'm going to get some questions as well. Rihanna, thank you for joining. Elliot, great to see you, buddy. Janine, thank you very much for joining as well. Florian says, I've done a lot of LinkedIn lately. I'm up to almost 5,000 connections. This is brilliant, Florian. This is brilliant. You will be able to use this strategy. Given that the connections are the right connection, you will definitely be able to use this strategy. And Michelle is saying, LinkedIn is my best friend. Absolutely. Yes, LinkedIn is your best friend. Indeed. Yes, LinkedIn is your best friend indeed. Okay, so now we have explored how to find the format using this strategy. We have explored how to get the people and how to connect with them. Now at this point, we need to consider how the heck do we monetize this event? Because now the whole point we are doing this is to get exposure, to build trust, to build connections, and to get clients. Now, the seminar for an events industry for corporate is very different than from consumers or for small business owners. Because where business owners, as I said before, will make a decision quick and they will go and attend something and they will buy it if they are the owner of the company. Someone is coming from an external or is a director, they will have a budget, and if it's over a certain amount, the budget and the project will need to be approved by the board of directors. So now your role when you're running it, depending from the size of the business, but when you're running a contract with larger corporates, your role for this event is not to close the sale there and then. Your role is to have a foot on the door, to get them being aware of who you are, what you do, what service you provide, and why is important for them. But remember, at this point, like you are hosting the event, or maybe you have someone like Lovelda, my wife, hosting the event, or you will have me hosting this event, and you are not on stage as much. So how can you create those conversations? How can you get people to trust you if you're not there on stage? Well, you get on stage. That's the whole purpose of the strategy. In fact, and I haven't shared with you before, to arrive to this point, you will have embedded in the schedule of the event a 60 to 90 minutes keynote or workshop or talk that you're going to give to that audience as part of it. Now, this is going to be listed in the marketing material as part of the things that they will learn. But the whole purpose is to show them stats, numbers, why it's important that they have the service that you provide, and also case studies and strategies for them to apply what you know. Because your role now is to get them to start thinking, we need this in our organization. Because they need to convince themselves enough to convince the board of directors to approve the budget, right? So you see how it works. How do we do that? We create a presentation. And for example, the work we did with Michelle, she did a brilliant work. And we created this presentation where she was sharing about herself, about why she got so passionate about behavioral profiling, while every company needs to have behavioral profiling, how behavioral profiling was able to save money to the company, was able to have the employees way more productive and create a better environment and reduce costs and increase the bottom line. There was all these things in this presentation, and also there were knowledge about behavioral profiling that would show the audience that Michelle was not just there to sell, but she knew her stuff like a pro. She was the boss in that room, in that moment. Because she was able to share details of the work that she did with their clients, the results that they have, things that team needs to be aware when they are working together. Give them a workshop and an exercise and a self-assessment throughout her presentation to make that more interactive. And that worked incredibly well, because at the end of the presentation, this is what we did. She had an offer, which is good. Now, depending on the kind of organization you're talking to, in her case, we decided to provide an offer. Said, normal is this, but if you apply today, we will give you this discount and we will give you these bonuses on top in terms of services and more hours and more profiles that they would have to pay even more if they were to buy the service on their own. And the only thing they need to do is to fill up an application form where we could find out more information about their companies. And then she would follow up with a phone call, schedule the phone call, and close the deal on the phone call. Because sometimes you will need to do an extra presentation to the board of directors if it's a larger company. You might need to do to go for lunch with the directors or the decision makers or the founders before you start working with these companies. So, but your role is to get the team that is there to apply so that you can have your foot on the door. And if you give them a reason why to apply right now, that's even better. So it can be a discount. It can be some free additional resources that you can give them if they apply as a thank you for their application that you know they really want and they really need. That will make them say, you know what, I just want this free resource as well. Let me apply so we can have that call. And then the resources are going to be given after the call. Haha, because otherwise some people will have the call and then they will say to get the resources and then don't bother from the call if the resources are good enough. We got them on the call first, and then we give them the resources. They already came to an event for free. Hey, haha. So that's the point where you're going to be. So then you can decide if you put your presentation before the panel, after the panel. Maybe you will split the panel in two parts and you will have your presentation smack in the middle. I love that part because you get people to immediately get what they came for. Then we say, hey, this is the things that you got to know right now. And then you have the last part, which will get people also to stay until the end. If there are some people in the audience that are not interested in the topic that you're sharing or is not relevant for them. That's the format that you can use, and that's how you can monetize. The application clause is the most important clause that you can use right now. Give them bonuses, give them incentives to get those applications flooding in like crazy. Let me check also who else is here. We have Wang, Deji. Thank you very much for joining, Deji. It's been a while. Army, thank you for joining. Jean-Claude, thank you for joining. Yes, definitely catch up the replay like Rihanna. Any question at this point, or if you don't have any question, then we are going to move on to the last part of what you need to consider in order to make this event successful. So again, if you have any question, just let me know right now in the comment. Ask me your question. This is relevant for this point. Or just give me a whoop whoop here in the comment so then I can cruisely. I don't know what I'm talking about. Sometimes my English, I make up some words. I love making up words. I can cruise along. Towards the end of this training. Now, the last part of this training is about once we have identified, remember, we have identified first the people that are the kind of people we want in the audience, the kind of style of event we want to run. We have identified as well what kind of, how to reach out to people, how to monetize this event. And then we are going into how can we partner up and mitigate our cost to create partnerships and sponsorship and get sponsors for your event. Really excited about this part. Because then in this way you can save, you can really save almost all your money. We have a question which is right now. I'll put it on top of my forehead. Here you go. Are the panel of speakers selling as well? That's a very brilliant question. Thank you very much, Florin, for asking the question. Are the panel speakers selling as well? Not necessarily. Ideally not, because the panel speakers, I'm not looking at professional speakers at this stage. I'm more looking for people that are working, employed in companies, but that they have a role of relevance within the company and that they know their stuff and they are followed. So you can check on LinkedIn immediately how many followers they have, how many articles are putting out, how many people are reading the articles. And ideally, I don't want them to sell their products, but they can create brochures for the audience. In fact, this is the partnership side. When you are asking them for partnerships with the speakers, if you don't have money for them, we can say that the company is sponsoring the event. At this point, the company, if he has products or services that are related to the audience, they can have brochures. You can create goodie bag where you're putting out some free resources and free gifts from the other companies. You can have them to have their banners and all their marketing material around the room so that the company, instead of you paying them for their time, they can earn from exposure, branding, marketing, and of course, they're gonna pick up some maybe business inquiries because if the panelist does a good job in the panel, people are going to approach that company anyway. Because remember, they want to see them already. So the people that are generally on that panel, they're already from well-established companies. So that becomes a much easier way to get them in. But ideally, you want to be the only one making a direct sale or a direct pitch because it's your event. Now, if that's valid if you're running a half a day or an evening or a morning. If you're running a multi-day, 2 or 3 days, that's different. You can have multiple people because it will not feel like a pitch fest where every company is just there to pitch. But you have some people doing at the beginning, some people do it the day after, someone doing the day after again. So it will be more spread out. So depending of the nature of the event, you will choose how many people to give a pitching time or to allow them to give an offer. Now, with some companies, if they want to offer the product or services, you can even ask them to pay for it. So you will send your person, they will give the panel, but if you want them to pitch a product or service, you pay me an extra. So now you have the room covered, or they will sponsor something more that you have, or they will sponsor all the goodie bags that you're going to give out. So you can find different ways to negotiate with those larger businesses. Because remember, those larger corporations, they will have budgets allocated for marketing and for branding purposes. So for them is more about is not the issue is not about I don't have a budget. The issue is where do I locate my budget? And as someone who's a director or a manager, they are given a budget, and they will need to get the most out of the budget that they have, but they can spend it all if they want. That's why they're given this budget. The more important thing that they don't go over the budget. That creates some problems sometimes. So as long as you're tapping into their current budget that they have, they have money for this stuff. So don't worry about that. I want to say hi to Jeff. Thank you very much for joining and watching. Danny, great to see you as well here. And then, yes, thank you very much, Caroline. Carry on cruising, Simone. Yes, I'm carry on cruising right now. I appreciate it, Caroline. So, how do we create the sponsorships? You can have a sponsorship with the venue and ask the venue to sponsor this event and giving you free drinks. And sometimes they will even give you free food if the exposure is enough for them to justify it. Now, it depends on where you are and what kind of location. If you're running a location in central London or central New York or whatever center of a big city, it's much more difficult to negotiate with venues because their prices are quite high and they are high in demand. There are a lot of events happening every single day. So it will be not impossible, because you can still find venues that will do this kind of trade. They'll give you the venue for free, the drinks for free, or they might just give you the venue for free, but then you will have to pay for the drinks on top of it. So now you can ask yourself, okay, who else can pay for my drinks? And that's where you can ask other companies to be the sponsor of the event in exchange of exposure on the manuals, on the brochure that you're creating. And there are some people, remember, they have budgets. So if the event is relevant enough for them, so I'm looking at a company that is giving, let's say we are talking about recruitment industry, and our networking event is for sales director in the recruitment industry, then I'm asking who are the other companies that are offering services that are not competing with mine, but complementary services to a sales director in companies, in the recruitment industry. So I'm going to research this company. I can say, hey, I'm running this. I'm looking for sponsorship. Would you like to be one of our sponsors? You will sponsor the drink. This is how much it is. We will tell everyone that you sponsored the drink, and then you can have a representative of your company there. Do you want to do it? So now you can think outside the box and look at, okay, what kind of other companies can I get involved, or other people that want to tap into the same audience that I can endorse. They will not have a speaking slot unless they pay me for a very large sponsorship, and they will still get exposure. They will get their logo out. They will have a representative in the room. They will be pointed out. They will be thanked publicly. So then everyone will be able to remember them. And someone, for example, is sponsoring the drink, like the toast is given to that company, is directed to that company. That's the first toast. So doing something as an event organizer to make sure that also your sponsors are taken care of, that they are glorified, because that's what a sponsor wants. I want to be able to be glorified. I want to be able to, if I pay for an event, to speak at an event or to promote an event, then I want you as an event organizer to give me as many eyeballs as possible. That's why I'm paying you. And when I'm there, I want you to make me feel important. Why? Because I'm paying you for this. And if you make them feel really important, they will come back next year and sponsor the next conference, whether they get more enough business or enough eyeballs on their business, depending on what they need the most. So that's how you can create a sponsorship model, and you can wrap up this cycle from event organization to finding the speakers to connect with them to monetizing to not paying for it, and it works. It absolutely works. I had many clients that use this model. One of them was Alistair, which is a fellow Forbes contributor, came to one of our 3-day Explode Your Expert Business Intensive event, and as part of his business plan was creating this kind of events. Then we worked one-to-one for only to be focused on this specific strategy, and he got 12 high-level senior executives at the Wolseley, and the Wolseley, which is one of the most exclusive hotels in London, give them the room for free, just paying for a nominal breakfast, and he ended up costing him literally not more than £200 for getting some business owners that were running 7, 8, 10 figure businesses and senior executive of this kind of companies. So it works. It absolutely works. Now, I'm wrapping up. I'm going to wrap up in a few minutes. Any question that you have, before I wrap up, because this is if you apply this, I guarantee you will get corporate clients within 6 months. The reason why I'm saying 6 months, it is because, as we know, some corporate will take a longer time to make a decision on who to hire, what to do, what not to do. So they need their time, and you need their time to have the meetings. So don't have unrealistic expectations around it. I have one more thing to share with you, and then we can wrap up. Brett, great to see you. Great to see you, Brett. And thank you very much again, Brett, for thinking about Lavelle and I for the tickets. Really appreciate it. And Victor, great to see you. Give Victor, absolutely. This training is very relevant for you as well. So any question, write them now. So then I know what questions you have. And also I would love you to write any comments that you have. What was the biggest thing that you learned from this training, from this strategy called the Get Corporate Client Easy Formula? That's the name I gave it this morning. Get Corporate Client Easy Formula. I think is a good name, because I didn't name this strategy yet. I wanted to make sure we had a good name for it. In the meanwhile, as you know, this training is going to be in the members area. It's going to be free for this group for 24 hours. And then I'm going to put it in the private members area. This is our online academy, Explode Your Expert Biz online academy, which you can join for only $1. Some of the trainings that we have in there are an entire training on selling from the stage, which is sell from the stage like an Italian stallion. Yes, it's possible. Yes, you can. And then a course on sales mastery, on selling 101, probably the best sales course that you will find online for selling 101. Our resource center, where you can find templates, contracts, resources to actually create the backbone of your business. Product mastery, which is about creating products that sell themselves. Negotiation mastery, about negotiation. How to build a 6-figure speaking business. This one will go in how to get corporate clients training. This training that we just did. How to write and publish a book in 14 days. How to create your high converting webinar, your podcast, get on TEDx. A list of 1,000 podcasters you can contact. Your road to business success to create your entire business strategy for the year. Social media mastery, which I mentioned earlier, on which we have a course on Instagram, Facebook, which are coming up soon, and the one which is awesome on advanced LinkedIn automation, and also basic LinkedIn. Events that sell, on how to create events that convert, and then also social media revolution, which is a 2-day training live that we did in London with the social media influencer Daisy Slava Dobreva on what's working right now to grow your audience on social media and to expand your brand. So you can join today for only $1. You can find the link, which I'm going to put now here in the comments, while you're asking all the questions that you have, so that you will be able to join, see what this training is about, become part of our membership, because it will make a massive difference in your business. I'll tell you right now, it will make a massive difference in your business. The link is here right now in the comment. You can see it, and then you can join us straight away. So let me check if you have any question. We have Florin. I definitely want to do this over the winter. Thank you very much, Florin. And we need to talk about how we can set it up. How we can set it up around what I do. You are welcome, Florin. Is my pleasure. Anyone else that want to share what has been your biggest learning, and also any other questions that you have from watching this incredible training? Because remember, this strategy works. This strategy works. So you gotta use it. Now, if you need help, join our membership site, so then our members area, so we can help you. We can be there with you, guide you along the way. If also you need one-to-one support, then by joining our members area, you will have 1 hour of one-to-one support, and then you can upgrade as well, of course, to our 30 days, 3 months, or 6 months, or 12 months mentoring, depending on where you are in your business, or our lifetime membership, and the other incredible training we have for you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Make sure you join right now if you haven't joined. If you're already a member, watch this training. Thank you very much for always showing up, for being there, always in the front row, taking notes, learning something new, and in particular, taking action. Because that's where the magic happens, when you take action. If you don't take action, nothing will happen. But by taking action right now in this very moment on something that you learn, or joining the membership site, then you will build momentum. Momentum will build speed, and speed will get results, and the results that you want. And that's what GTeX is for. Because at GTeX we are here for together to get things done, to get exponential results, so we can grow our business and create an incredible life for everyone else which is around us. We have Caroline, which said, realized I need to expand my definition of my target audience to the corporate world. Get clear on my corporate client. Thank you very much, Caroline. Absolutely. Now, the reality is you don't have to, is if you want to. But it's always good to have also a corporate branch of the business, because you never know. When you have the corporate interested in you, or approaching those corporate, you will be able to expand your business much faster. And that's one of the things. That's why with GTeX we are working on both directions, on the small entrepreneurs, small business owners market, and on the corporate market. So by embracing them both, we are able to grow the business faster and also have a bigger impact and have a massive ripple effect, not only with the smaller business owner we are working with, but also with massive corporates that are already reaching hundreds of thousands of millions of people. So yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much, Caroline. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you join our online training. If you have not part of that, you can only start for the first month for only $1, which gives you also a session one-to-one included, 1 hour of coaching one-to-one included, which is insane. Why do I do that? Because, of course, I want you in and I want you to stay. So there is a way for you to explore all the juiciness that we have created for you. Like we started 3 years ago building all this training for this membership, for this members area. Then make sure you join right now, so then we can get you started and we can officially welcome you as part of the GTeX family and introduce you to the other hundreds of people that are every month joining us, joining the training, and be like you. being freaking awesome and making an impact in the world. I'll see you next time. Ciao.